Hello to all you movie barfs, and welcome back to the channel. I'm sure everyone would agree that the Snyder Cut is better than Justice League by leaps and bounds. But what exactly makes it an improvement? Well, here are some things that were put back that elevated it. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie already. Number 1. Steppenwolf's motivation. In the original Justice League, Steppenwolf was just a bland, boring villain with generic conquer the world motivations. In the Snyder Cut, we see more of what drives him. It turns out that he's indebted to Darkseid, another welcome improvement by the way, and that he has to pay off his debt of claiming 50,000 worlds for him before he can return home. This minor tweak gave Steppenwolf a whole new layer of complexity. We see that he's trapped, that he's an outcast who has no choice but to do the bidding of his master just to return home. We may not know all the details of the backstory, but this small change makes him a much better character. And that new spiky armor makes him look like more of a threat instead of just a medieval axe-wielding creature. Number 2. Cyborg is more fleshed out. Of all the characters, Cyborg definitely had the most depth added when comparing between the original and Snyder's version. The difference is practically night and day. He went from barely having any dedicated scenes to now having an origin story. We see him pre-transformation, his relationship with his parents, the tragedy which transformed him, and his struggle to adapt to his new life. The movie also shows what a technological threat he is while keeping his softer side. We have someone who could trigger a nuclear apocalypse, stopping to help a struggling mother by transferring $100,000 into her bank account. It's a shame that they felt the need to cut these character development moments out of the film. Scenes like these help establish the character and leave a much better impression. Number 3. The Flash actually brings value. I bet some of you would have thought, what value does the Flash bring to the team when Superman already has super speed? And in the Snyder Cut, it looks like even Wonder Woman has super speed too. But here, we see that the Flash can go to lengths that they can't. The team actually loses at the end, and it's the Flash who saves the day by breaking his rule and going faster than the speed of light to turn back time. This change makes the Flash go from being a spare wheel to one of the most important game changers in battle. Now he's playing a pivotal part in the climax, as opposed to just being a one-man tow truck service for a Russian family. Number 4. A Superman without a CGI lip. One of the worst things of the theatrical cut was how they mutilated poor Henry Cavill's lip. His mustache from Mission Impossible 6 had to be digitally removed, and a CGI lip was created in place. It's mind-boggling how they decided to spend millions doing that as opposed to just sticking to the original footage. What we got was an absolute abomination, which was completely unacceptable for a major studio release. Looking back, I don't see how any of the CGI lip scenes added any value to the theatrical version. The Snyder Cut helped restore Cavill's facial dignity, and went even further as to give us that cool new black suit, which would undoubtedly start a new wave of merchandising. Number 5. No more silly jokes. Having two directors on the same film made for a very fragmented experience. We had Zack Snyder's dark and edgy take corrupted with Whedon's cheap humor. The Snyder Cut helped to clean up the facepalm moments from the theatrical cut, like the scene where the Flash lands on top of Wonder Woman, something Gal Gadot wasn't willing to do, so they used a stunt double instead. Or that scene where the Flash gets an inferiority complex watching Superman carry an entire building while he pushes a truck. But the character most redeemed from being the butt of the joke is Batman. Now, he no longer gets tongue-tied in front of Superman, or is making quippy one-liners that something's definitely bleeding. It's okay for the Flash to have some level of goofiness, but not Batman. He's just not the right tool for the job, given his nature. Number 6. More nightmare sequences. I don't know about you, but the nightmare sequences were the highlights of the Snyder Cut for me. Comic book movies usually get criticized for playing it too safe. The nightmare sequences were a foretaste of the unconventional approach Snyder was heading towards. I'm sure all of us would love to see a full-length film on a dystopian world where an evil Superman serves Darkseid with Batman leading a group of heroes and criminals as insurgents. That would have been the true Batman vs Superman movie that fans have been waiting to see. And at the very least, they gave Jared Leto's Joker some redemption. Even though his laugh is still as annoying as ever, he has an aggravating one-on-one banter with Batman about Jason Todd. Although, at this point, I still wonder why Batman hasn't just killed him yet. Oh, and did I mention we have our on-screen debut of Batman cursing too? The nightmare sequences were a bold move and gave glimpses of what we could get if they continued with this storyline. But with Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers moving on from this project for good, and Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill being recast, unfortunately this bittersweet foretaste appears to be all we're ever gonna get. So, what do you think? Share your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our other videos too.